Welcome back to the channel. Today we're in the Western Fells and we're going to do 3 Wainwrights, including this one today, where there's buried treasure. Right, let's check it out on the map. From the parking bay, we head a short distance down the road and onto the trail. We take a steady walk which descends onto the valley floor, and then we cross over Comb Beck, and a little further we cross over the River Calder. These are both easy crossings on the day that we did them. As we work our way towards the head of the valley, the ascent comes into view, which is our first real up of the day. Tracing the path upwards, the mountains eventually come into view as we ascend our way to our first Wainwright, Lank Rigg. After admiring the views down to the coast and over to the fells, we descend the slope again and travel upwards to Whoap. Once we reach the crest, Crag Fell and Grike come into view, and we work our way towards the dry stone wall and down into the dip, before making the steady ascent up to Crag Fell. This offers great views down to Ennerdale Water and over to the surrounding fells. We continue our journey with an easy down and then an up. The Solway Firth is ahead of us and stays in view until we reach the substantial summit cairn of Grike. It's a steady descent down to the trail which eventually leads us to Wild Ennerdale Nature Reserve. This walk gives us a wander through the woods and back to the start point. Once we finish the walk, we'll visit the nearby Kinniside stone circle. This is a fantastic fell walk, I really hope you enjoy it. We're starting off in a siding, but all the way down this road there's parking for probably like 30-40 cars, so loads of space really. Alison's with me today.
Hello.
Hello. Alison will be taking a few photos and she's got a camera with her in her bag, you'll be pleased to know. Not swinging the lens around everywhere like last week. Right, also Alison's not got a bag because I'm carrying everything.
Very kind of you.
Time-wise, it's about 4.5 hours to go around this loop. Like most things on the site, this is a circular. So if you've not been here before, then if you check out the others, got easy routes. They're generally speaking about this kind of length. It's a bit of a road walk on this to start off with, and then we'll come to the road again at the end, but it's only a short section. Rest of the time, we're enjoying the fells. As walking up on this little road, you see the Solway Firth just out here. So we're right on the edge really of the fells, and you can see how they tend to fade away towards the coast. As you come in on this one, the route in is actually pretty straightforward, and you'll know if you're used to going around the Lake District, sometimes it's a bit, tricky, but apart from the last 10 minutes when we got to these smaller roads, it's pretty much single carriageway on both sides, but it's marked white line in the middle, which is not always what you get in the Lake District. But I didn't drive in, Alison drove in, didn't you? What did you think? All right. Here we go then, here's the turn off. This is taking us onto the fell, and now we can start to enjoy some views shortly. As you can probably tell from the view behind, this is right at the edge of the fells, and that's one of the reasons that these are included, because there's an approach from, if you like, the sea, and then this is the start of the Lake District. Hit your goal. Haven't done anything?
No.
What goal have you hit? Steps.
Set the targets low.
We're heading up and we're going to go this way and then track onto the fell. As I mentioned, it's late spring, stunning day today, and it's not rained really for a couple of weeks, so this is going to be dry. I did check out a few people's videos when I was preparing to do this, and it looks like it's pretty boggy in other times of year. So if you are going to have a go at this one, I'd recommend the sort of late spring, summer months would be best. This is looking back, and just to mention, there is a lower path and a higher path, so if you are doing it in sort of autumn, winter time, then the higher path will be drier. You can tell by the sort of sedges down here. It's going to be a bit more boggy. We'll continue forward on our lovely dry day. Look at that, not a cloud in the sky at the moment. Alison's legging off on me. Look, that's the sheep there at the side. Still lambing season in the lakes. Hello. Curious. As we get down here, this is Kinniside just at the end. That's not a Wainwrights, so we'll leave that one for today. We're going to follow the track up, and then we sort of do a little bit of a out and back, and then we can go towards our second and third Wainwrights for today. This is Comb Beck just coming down here. Let's get over it. That's the way, I think. There we go. River Calder is just over there. It's not very deep today, is it?
Oh, no.
Not really what we call fast flowing today. But yeah, it has been bone dry, you can tell here. No rain for at least a week. When we get to the edge of the fell, there'll be a stream there, and then we're going to start to work our way up. This can be done as part of a wider 5 if you're in a bit of a rush to get this section completed. So I'll put a map up for that one. And that just is a little bit of a more testing one than this. But I'm going to break this down into 2 smaller walks, which are easily manageable. So the longer one of those will be around about 15k. But Ennerdale, great place to visit, really quiet part of the lakes, because you're right on the edge of the national park. And we'll be popping into the pub, Fox and Hounds, later, just to finish off the walk, because it's really important to support those small businesses. As we're heading down, we can get glimpses of the River Calder as it's going down there, working its way down the valley. So basically tracing that, and we'll cross it just up here. You can see the walking surface, very easy, very grassy. So that's why I've got some cattle just ahead of us, because it's prime grazing ground. And if you've got a dog, this is an easy one to do with a dog. Nothing really to fall off on this one. It's going to be pretty gentle most of the way around, which makes it ideal for a day when it's a little bit hotter. Got a couple litres of water with me and a can of Coke. You can fill up in the stream if you got a bottle, but I wouldn't do that without a filter because you're quite low down here. Anything I'm using, including the route map, is in the description. So if you want to get further details about the area or the route map to get it on your phone before you come out, then that's a good idea. So I say it's all in the description, and all the gear is in there and links to where you can get it from if you wish to have it. Now, there's some evidence of cows, which is not my favourite, but there they are ahead of us, just on the path.
Oh, your favourite thing.
My favourite thing, especially in calving season, I really like that. Wainwright does make mention in his book of it being really quiet around here, but prehistorically there would have been perhaps more activity because there are a few buildings around, and this is one he's done in the Western Fells. So if you've not got the Wainwright books, I'd suggest having a go at those because they are really good. So if you've got a birthday coming up or some sort of holiday which entitles you to a gift, then I'd say see if you can get your hands on one of those. Crossing the river. Oh, will we make it? Today, a little bit less challenging than it might be on other days. Let's brave the river then. It's not much of a challenge today. Got to still get my feet wet though. There we go. Yes, there you go. On this side, a little bit of scurry heading up. It's a gentle ascent. Curious sheep there. Hello. There's a mummy cow and a calf just ahead of us there. Are we going near them? No, we're not. We'll head up here. Get slightly ahead of them. I don't know on cows, it depends on the type of cow really, because the Friesians are a bit more skittish. They're a bit more aggressive. Some others not so bad. So Highland cattle, lovely. And the belted Galloways are all right as well, but don't go near them in calving season because obviously they're protective of the young. Deforestation. It is managed woodland, and in the Wainwright book he does say that they'd started to plant this out when he was writing the book, and he said it looked very different in the future as a managed woodland, and he wasn't that keen, to be honest, on the sort of monoculture of it all being pine. But you know, it's the Forestry Commission that own the land, so I suppose they can do what they want.
Christmas trees.
Christmas trees. Got to get your Christmas tree from somewhere. Despite the fact it's been dry for the last couple of weeks, there's still a bit of boggy stuff around here. Whoa, only a tiny bit though. This walk and the next one will see us complete the Western Fells, and these are probably the last ones you might do in the area because they're a little bit further out. We're getting to the head of the valley, then we've got our first little challenge of today, which is a steeper up. You looking forward to this? Looks all right though, doesn't it? Look, you sort of gradual walk up there. So come this way, that's Whoap at the side, and we're just here at Whoap Beck, and then we're tracking all the way up there. It's only gentle though, nice rise. We're in the Isle of Man. I see. Looks different than how I remember. Has he invaded the Lake District?
Yeah.
What's the news in the Isle of Man?
Where are you?
I got a text. Let me just check what that is. Oh yeah, roaming charges. Welcome to the Isle of Man. It's within my allowance, so I'm all right. From the back, we'll do the ascent, and it's about 150, 160 metres going up. So it's a pretty decent one. Not too testing, and it's cutting across the face of the fell, so equally it's quite shallow. So it's a nice stable ascent to our first Wainwright of the day. And as you come up, that's your valley view, looking back to see what you've done so far. Taking some more photos. I see.
Much to take photos of so far.
No. Yeah, it's quite flat early on, so that's what we've done. But in a minute, we'll be up there and we'll be able to see the range open up to the side of us. We're quickly near the top, so that's if we just come up here. We just come into the crest now and we'll be able to see the top. We hit this col and then we're going to work our way up to the right. Oh, look at that. Does that remind you of anything else?
Yeah.
Reminds me a bit. Do you remember we did Lank Fell? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Reminds me a bit of that. Looks a bit like a golf course, that one. Oh yes. Anyway, when we're on this side, we're no longer on the seaside, so we can get the mountainous views starting to come in. Fantastic. What do you think?
Yeah,
Hot, yeah it is. You can see some of the landslip that's taken place if we're just looking back. So again, down to the Solway Firth over there. I know I keep saying it's the sea, but it's the Solway Firth. So just up here, and I'll say nice roundy one, a bit like the Northern Fells really. As we go up, we get more of a shot of the fells opening up, and a little further into the walk, we'll get a great shot of Ennerdale just as we're passing it. What do you think of the up?
more time than you expect.
Yeah, it is a bit consistent this, so it does get you a bit, because there's no natural stoppage points, it just kind of continues up. It's coming though, we're coming to get you. Just having a little breather, but you can see the clouds showing us the way to the mountains in the background. As you can see behind me, the view opens up as you start to get near the top, so we'll enjoy looking at that in a sec. Over to this side, when we're looking back, you've just got High Stile, the red pike in the distance, and then Pillar. So the Mosedale Horseshoe isn't too far away. But there it is, the summit is just appearing. This is a Wainwright that's in the Western Fells, which is Wainwright's last book, and he says in the book that he got a bit giddy and hid a coin under here so that whoever was the first reader to act on their instincts could come up and get the coin. So let's see if we can find it. Wainwright says he's put a coin within 4 feet of the summit, so I'm guessing it's in this pile here originally. So just have a look, see if you can find anything. I would doubt it's in there. Is there anything? Long gone. But it is tradition to leave a coin here as well for somebody else to find if they've read the same thing. So if you're watching this, the coin is just there for you. Good luck on finding it. If you do find that coin, let me know in the comments. We're just heading off now. Wow, wind is picking up. It's actually due to be about 25 miles an hour today. And I think it is. Ahead of us we can just see red pike and high style popping up. I've got a video on those if you want to see it. And they are right at the side of Buttermere. So we've got some fantastic views out today. You can see really far. So you can see it's quite an easily laid out path in front, just heading long and then off to our left. We're off to Crag Fell and it is quite a gentle down up as we go, and that'll give us a better view of the surrounding areas and the mountains between the two in the valley here. And as we walk past these you can just see the stacking. These were some sort of buildings at some point. A load of people over here on the hillside. Look like they're practicing something.
Roly-polies.
Roly-polies. Could be. Quite a big roly-poly to do down there, haven't you? Look at that. Ragdolling it. You can see the drop down from Lank Rigg behind me, and it's about 100 metres down. And where we're going up here, it's about another 50 up. So it's a decent down up. Quite a gentle ascent as you go up. Got your milk bottle legs. Still early in spring. Get those to beige by the end of summer. Just to mention it, I have got a suntan lotion on, and that's factor 50 because get your ears burned when you're out all day, so worth popping a bit on. From Lank Rigg, it's about 100 metres down to the drop and then 50 back up, so fairly decent little scoop to take. There we are then, so we're just heading right and working our way to our next one, which is Crag Fell. Just having a little bit of a change. There you go. If you've been to Weight Watchers recently, yeah. Was it highly successful? Yeah. The wind is picking up a bit, so it's getting a little bit chilly. I'm alright, but I've got my other sort of wind cheater, the orange one, in the bag if I need it. So I don't think it's going to be in any way cold today, but there's a bit of a wind chill and that'll take it off if I need it. But so far, so good. Did I bring it? Yeah. Who would come out without a bag of stuff? It's crazy.
I know.
What we're doing is we're heading up here, but actually Crag Fell is this at the side here, but just the path takes us this way, then we look round a little bit. We'll be onto it and then over to our third Wainwright, Grike. This is my first time over in this part, and this loop's not how my brain sort of assessed it. So it's definitely one to download the map before you come, just so you're clear on the route. So when we get over to there, we should get views over Ennerdale. It is definitely getting a bit windy, as forecast. Yeah, this is our little veer off. You'll see these white stones, and then you'll start to head your way over. Matches your shorts. It's a vision in blue. Whoap, daintily over the brook. This is a bit boggy down here. There we go. The path becomes a bit more indistinct, and it is a little spongy underfoot here, despite the dryness we've had for the last 2 weeks. So when I've seen other people's videos on this, it does look quite wet. But for us today, worth doing this because it's definitely about as dry as it's going to get. Yeah, it must get pretty bad here. I mean, there's literally been no rain for a fortnight and it's still standing water. We'll get to the wall and then we'll just track it across onto the other side. So here it is, and this is Crag Fell. Oh, this is definitely dried up swampy stuff. It's crunchy. But yeah, we're just over the other side, and that is Crag Fell just in front of us. What do you think?
Yeah, very good. I was thinking...
In depth there as usual.
I was distracted. I thought that was a horse with its person.
Thought it was a horse with its person. Okay. Someone was saying in the comments we should give Alison a mic.
No.
It's dangerous territory.
You don't know what will come out of my mouth.
I can't. I'll get the channel deleted if that happens. Bit of sheep action down here. I'm going on this. Still looks a bit boggy, doesn't it, despite all the dryness? Yeah. So I'm not trying to put you off this, but yeah, say if you are doing it, I'd do it in dry conditions for sure. Great view though, isn't it? Wobbly.
We walked them.
We've walked. We have walked them. Do you know what they are?
Pillar.
Pillar. Let's have a look. Okay, so over there we've got red pike, little dod, and starling dod. So the doddies and Crag Hill and Grassmoor. I'll stick to the wall for this. Looks a bit boggy. Although this looks a little boggy, there's a nice little stone path at the side and we can just wander down that. Keep our boots nice and dry. There we go, little stile. First one we've come across today, isn't it? Might be another one soon. Once we're over here, we should get good views down to Ennerdale Water, because that's really one of the things Wainwright mentions a lot in his book about particularly Crag Fell, and on the other side it is quite craggy, so that's why it's called Crag Fell. The other thing he says about Crag Fell is it gets mistaken sometimes for Pillar, for people who aren't that familiar with the area. Pillar, you'll know, has got pillar rock on it. And I've got a video on that sort of area if you want to see the Mosedale Horseshoe video. I'll pop it in the description for you. And similarly, Crag Fell has a rocky outcrop on the side which looks a little bit like a mini pillar.
A mini pillar.
A mini pillar rock, yeah. Right, there you go. It's quite a compliment though to Crag Fell to be compared to Pillar, because it's quite a bit shorter. Right, so this is what he's on about. So that is the pinnacles, as they're known, on the side of Crag Fell. And then when you get to Pillar Rock, that's the notable outcrop there, and that's Pillar Rock. But you'll probably be familiar with that if you've done the Mosedale Horseshoe. All these trees down here. Yeah, it's a bit of a, you know, post-apocalyptic landscape. There's plenty of bleached trees around here, or stumps anyway. Right, one survived though, got the odd one knocking about, ready for Christmas. So our next thing is fairly obvious. We're just working our way up onto the fell, and we can just head up the nose there to get to the top of Crag Fell. Starting the ascent, and if you have done this or any of these fells, just let me know how you did it, because you can do it as this 3 or as a wider 5, but that's going to give ideas to other people if you put that in the comments. So if you do that, I'll see you in the comments. We're just heading straight up there. As we come up, we just meet this track, so we have worked our way down the fell side here, through there, and there's another track coming here. We meet that and it becomes much more established for a little bit up here as we go up the fell. There's a cairn to keep us on track. Play me cotton balls.
Yeah. Balls.
There you go. You can just see the cracked earth there where that would have been a little bit marshy, and that's what you're telling us, isn't it? Little pom-poms. Yeah, they are lovely. And that's our view out. It is indeed Pillar, just over here, popping up. There you go. That's part of the Mosedale Horseshoe. There we are. There's a little dog gate on that second style of the day.
Non-slip style.
Yeah, non-slip. Modern style. various states of repair and disrepair, these around the Lake District. There you go. Not too far then, and we're right at the summit. We shall get a cracking view down over Ennerdale Water. If you're familiar with it, pillar in the background that you can see, you'll just note wind gap, which is the little dip next to it. That'll be earning its name today because it's pretty breezy.
How high is this?
How high is it?
We're going up about 150.
We've gone up about 70 or something.
No.
From the road we have, yeah, well from the dip. Still going up. Feels like about 80 metres or so to go up. And then you're at the top from the dip. Just a little further and you have got views out on the other side to Solway Firth. Is that Sellafield?
Oh.
Could well be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Wow, so sea on one side, or the Solway Firth anyway, and then the other Western Fells on this side. Wow, plenty to get out there. Cotton grass is bubbling away.
Really opened up.
Yeah, well, it's a very dry day, isn't it? So they can fluff out all their own maximum fluffage. The summit's just appeared ahead of us here. So we'll work our way to that and then see what the views are. Here we go then. Crag Fell summit with a floral tribute. Wow. You got it? Yes. That's our view out to Ennerdale Water. Fantastic. But what a top and what a view. No surprise it's a Wainwright. From the summit we'll head our way off. And there's a path that way, but it's not what we want. We're going to go to Grike, which is just over here. So it's this path at the side, straight towards Sellafield. Wow, let's hope it gets out the wind. That was crazy. Would have liked to get the drone up there, but it's absolutely mad. This is dead quiet on this side by comparison, so the wind's coming like right over that way. But over the water, it's absolutely crazy. As it's more like 35 miles an hour that. Mucho gusto. We're walking over here, as you can see the path, and that is Grike just ahead of us. Grike is also known as Stone Man because the way you look at it in the valley, it looks like someone's stood on top. It's a sea view for our last Wainwright of the day. There you go, flanked on both sides, just a sea of cotton. Fantastic. There we go, another one of these.
Strange one.
Yeah, strange one's good. Wonder what this is for. Is that the handle for the, what is it? I don't know. It's like a little play centre. That's the dog gate, yeah. Hours of fun, but we better get over it. There we go. Hey. Wow. Cold again. Got your jacket? Yeah. Right, jacket up then. Been quite busy today, hasn't it, with people?
Yeah.
A few knocking around. Must be because it's Wainwrights, because actually he says in his book that this area is so quiet that if you're to die here unaccompanied, then your disappearance of society would be a mystery because no one would find you. But yeah, they would after he published the books because there's loads of people here. What's what that? I don't think it's a Wainwright.
Oh, I remember that, the sea.
Oh, the sea. It's the Irish Sea.
Sure, to be sure, to be sure.
I think that's racially offensive. I'll see if anyone comments on it. I don't make any other jokes about potatoes or something. To to put it in context, Alison does have some Irish heritage, and I do as well, as do most people from Merseyside. So yeah, you're from the Blackburn area, like Wainwright himself. Hence the charming accent.
Exactly.
Probably up another 20 metres or so, and then we're done. What do you think about the exertion level on this? Out of 10?
I think the start of it were probably about a 7, weren't it, or 8? We kept going.
Yeah.
But then after that, no more than a 4 or 5. Really.
Yeah. So a bit of a stiffer start on this one, and then tails off to just a wander around the hills once you're up. So I'll do this one, then that's our 3 Wainwrights for today. And then we're not finished because we're going to go down to the parking place, but also the stone circles there. So we're going to check that out because that has its own story. It's worth saying when you're going up here, the best view you've got, because it's a grassy hill, is that one behind. Look at that, it's fantastic. But still, when we get to the crest of this, we'll be able to see all the way out across the Solway Firth. There's the top just come into view. There it is. That's quite the marker, isn't it? Well, Grike is known as Stone Man, and this is quite a top for Little Fell. What do you think about that? Oh, the view, I know. It's an amazing view, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. Well, that's a wind shelter on the right. That might be the top, we'll just check. Could be. But more likely to be this. Here's our top then. More floral tributes. There we go. Grike, locally known as Stone Man. Let's get it. Whee! Wow! Just going to get this wind shelter so you can get a breather and then do some drone action from high up. Just getting the edge of Ennerdale there, and here we go, heading back down. Another one of these. Having a run on the stiles. Hey, there we go. Wow, soon get out this wind.
Good.
So you can see all the forest below, and this is owned by the Forestry Commission. And in Wainwright's day, he did talk about them planting all the saplings here, and that it would like lead to this sort of monoculture in the future, which he wasn't that pleased about by the sound of it in the book. But you know, you've got to get your wood from somewhere. It is a way of generating income, and I'd rather see Christmas trees perhaps than nothing in another field, because I've got to get a bit of diversity back into the Lake District. It's an easy down, just a grassy path again, and then we'll soon be at the bottom, and you can see the road just there, and that'll take us onto the car. In the distance, this is Blakely Raise, but we're not going to go up it. We're just going to walk around it and then get back to our start point. I think the Christmas trees add a bit to the landscape.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got crossing in the middle of the trees.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh, boggy. There we go. And once we've done this, we're back onto the path. And this is a gentle track, which will just take us back round to the start point. What are you doing?
I'm taking a picture.
Taking a picture of the Christmas trees with the snowy cotton. If you want to see any of these, they will be on Instagram. And they come out exactly the same time as the video.
Not always.
Not always, no. We try though. It's alright, isn't it? Got the cotton grass there, the new foliage from the trees, and then I've got a load of bilberry also around. It's not quite got to berry stage yet, but it's coming.
Fingers.
It's the new spring foliage come out on those, soft when it first comes out. Not that soft. Nice little wander through the woods for us now. Look at that. Ferns are coming up. Boom. Straight up there. Back like a phoenix. Nice woodland walk to finish. Bit of dappled shade. A few different experiences on this one. So even though it was really windy at the top, this is dead still because we're in the forest. There's us going forward. It's a lovely warm day. It's probably about 15 degrees today, something like that. As we come down this track, you have got an open view out towards the Solway Firth. Here we go. Wow. Hey. We are keeping it short. So this is our road from earlier, and we're just going to rejoin that. Ahead for reference, that's Dent in the background and then Flat Fell in the foreground, and then our road is just before it. And we'll be there. So nice easy finish to the walk. Just to mention on this, we are going to hit the road here. There is a little path at the side, you can take that, but to be honest it's a really short section, so we're just going to pop up the road for a couple of 100 yards and then we'll be there. That's us, quiet as enough in it. We'll just pop to the stone circle while it's just up the road about 100 yards and have a look at that. But if you enjoyed the video, help me if you click on the like, share, put comments in, subscribe if you want to see more, then that will all be fantastic. And I do want to thank those people who have been putting some money into the Buy Me a Coffee link, which is directly below in the description, because that's helping to fund the channel directly as well. So all that stuff is brilliant. Thank you very much for joining in with the channel and supporting. This is Kinniside Stone Circle, and it is just a little bit off the road. It's about half a mile from where we started. There you go. And that is a bit of a conundrum, because you see a few of these ancient stone circles around the lakes. And this particular one has all sorts of stories attached to it, but you could equally call it a folly, because at one point the local farmer removed the stones because he thought they'd be good for fence posts and whatnot, and this was basically wiped out, and then it was reinstated sometime later. So let's have a look at it from the air. Here's our central stone. That's prehistoric as anything. So what you're looking at really is a bit of a folly. And when these were put in, I'll just prove it to you. They were put in with concrete bases. So they're not necessarily all the original stones. It was said that this was a partial restoration, but most of the stones are thought to be original, but we don't know if they're in the right slots or not. Just thought I'd add that in for a bit of interest. If you enjoyed the video, helps me if you click on the like or share or comment. And equally, if you want to see more of these, then just click on subscribe and you'll see the new ones as they come up. All right, gonna head to the pub now, so have a think about what you want. I'll see you in there.